Hi everyone, I'm Allison. Thank you for joining me for I'm from 209 with Christina. Um, what have you been reading? I've been reading, and it's an advanced reader copy, so you don't get to see the cover. It's Camouflage by Heather Sweeney, which is her memoir, and she was my guest from where I'm from 207. So I read her book, which is about her journey as a military spouse, and I'm trying to invite you, Christina. Um, so it was. I'm really enjoying it, and it's always interesting to read books by folks who've shared poems with me. I've been thinking of the military spouses in my life as I've been reading it, and what a unique challenge it is to be a military spouse. And it's also, hi, Christina.
Hi there. Hello. How are you?
Good. You made it. How are you?
Yes, I was worrying because I couldn't hear you, but then now all's fine.
Okay, good. Um, you have a beautiful, yesterday I had someone with Suzanne with a beautiful bookcase, and you have a beautiful bookcase behind
Oh,
you.
you like the colours? I,
Yeah,
yeah, I rearranged it.
it's nice. That's something I would aspire to do, but haven't ever done. So good job.
I,
Um, go ahead.
I was just going to say I do love the collections, and
Mhm.
then I've been encouraging my children to do the same. So every now and again, I'm really pleased when I see a little pile of colourful books that they've stacked up for me.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, books are wonderful. So is there anything you want to share, Christina, before you read your poem, or do you want to just go for it?
Only I was a little nervous doing this. I'm very pleased and thankful that you've invited me to join you, and I think it's wonderful all the stories that you're collecting and the poetry, and that I'm not a poet, so just beware. My poetry is a little bit.
I know people feel the need to say I'm not a poet. I did as well, and every time I do one, I feel like, oh, I'm not a poet. But I think we're all poets. Georgella would say that, and um, I think that people have taken poetry away from us, and it's a really powerful, wonderful thing. So if I'm doing even the tiniest bit to give it back, good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So I am glad you're here, and I feel very grateful and privileged to gather all these stories. I've always enjoyed hearing people's stories, like in my life, because I think everyone has one, and I love hearing them. So it's wonderful for me to have this opportunity to do it in this like formal structure. So
And you
um,
do your own every year. That's
I
right.
do.
You do.
That's yeah.
I think
Mhm.
that's wonderful too. But I did, as I was writing mine, I did think, oh gosh, there's so much to put
Mhm.
in and so much that's being left out that it does seem like something that you could do each year. Um,
Yeah, and I've also noticed people sometimes write, to now, yeah, or about their children or about, like this idea of where we're from can is always evolving. I was actually just having this conversation with my husband. We've been together half of my life, and how much I've changed in that time,
yeah.
and how my reflections, I mean, I like to think of it as evolution, I've evolved over the past
Mm.
half of my life, and even my reflections on where I'm from obviously evolve and change as well. I mean, hopefully we're
Yeah.
all evolving and changing.
Well,
So,
with the generations,
mm,
it fits in. I love thinking about the different generations and different perspectives because I'm sure I know my son in seventh grade has written one of these for
mhm,
class,
mm.
and I know that he hasn't shown me it. He keeps saying it's locked online somewhere, but I'm sure when I do read it that it will have very different thoughts and perhaps would parallel with what I would have written if I had written something back at his age.
Yeah, I've been in some classrooms with kids around that age doing it, and it's always like, and it's funny sometimes they're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like as if what they're living with is too plain or ordinary. It's like, well, that's your life. Like those things are what we're talking about. It doesn't need to be extraordinary. And I think it's it's good to start talking to them about what you're living with is worthwhile. It doesn't
Yeah,
need to be something special. It is special. So,
yeah, very
um,
true.
yeah. So do you feel better? You ready?
Yeah. Okay. Shall I go ahead?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Where I'm From by Christina Francis-Gilbert. I am from miniature china teacups, thimbles behind glass, handled with supervision, then inherited as toys. I'm from Filofax and Berol, the best ballpoint pens. I'm from a three-bedroomed house with garden in a cul-de-sac where streetlights gleamed on alleyways and small patio parties. From a community offering blankets of close, clouded calm. I'm from stepping stones in rockeries, basil in herb gardens, and a Mediterranean influence. From snapdragons you can pinch for their scented colour and charm, plus a quiet bite. I'm from cutlery, not silverware, and healthy, strong teeth, from the McDowells and Gilberts and the depths of love beneath. I'm from needing to be quiet, combined with emotive exhalations. I'm from stand up straight, go play with your sisters, una bella cosa, until sugar turned against me and insulin stood a step closer. I am from mass every other Sunday. Grandad will wait in the car. Objections? No, let it be. I'm from hymns at Christmas and funerals. Aching, emotional, cancer. Really? C'est la vie. C'est la vie. From Italian cultural roots and branches that cradle me, my Christian RC heart beats heavily. I am from Gravesend, Kent, in England, where Charles Dickens used to pace, writing with strength about social injustice. I'm from strong coffee, blackberry pies, picnics in Greenwich Park, English Cox apples and Bakewell tart. From my uncle, who travels the world, sending postcards to my grandma as proof, and then collecting them back on his return. Inspiring travel, not needing a roof. Hidden in stacked antique suitcases, treasured but tidied away, lie our patterns of people from our pastimes, mixed with fun and with faces we know. Portraits, sketches, paintings, galleries smiling from stairwells, presences protected in albums like precious natural pearls. From my infrequent visits, the pulse still connects, and we're glued together with nomadic images have no home anymore. They stay with my sisters, in storage, tucked in notebooks, online, elsewhere. Those memories are caught, but just like me, they are floating. Translucent, that's me, where I'm from. One day I'll tell a better story. For now, we hop, we skip, we jump, all six of us, from one international stepping stone to another, and we keep building moments worth capturing. We seem to be good at it.
Yay! You did it.
Yeah.
What a beautiful poem about, it seems like a complicated question for you. Where are you from? Trying to capture
Yes.
that answer.
It's a tricky one because I
Yeah.
think once you do move away from home, whether
Mhm.
it's within your own country or
Mhm.
abroad, you do start to think, where do I go back to? Do I
Mhm.
go back to my family? What if my family's not where they started?
Mhm.
Where are the origins? Um,
And I think there's this expectation oftentimes that there's like a family home or a place that you can return to. And I didn't have that. And so, and I've always, I mean, not always, but it's just something like, what does home mean? Where is home? And I don't know if the six of you is your current family, but to me, that is what I think of as my home, as my family that I've created.
yeah, the six of us, that's our four children and my
Mm.
husband. And we are jumping around all over the place. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, we help each other, we support each other. So but
Hmm.
yeah, they feel like home for me.
Yeah, and that home can be, you know, the people that we're is the love that we surround ourselves with,
Mm.
not necessarily, places and things. Although Filofax,
Yeah. Do you know
I
a
miss
place in
Filofaxes.
Oh, see, I think because I did Google this and I checked. I think it's a British brand, but
It might be.
it must be recognized and must have been
I
used.
had
But
one.
we definitely had them back in the 80s, 80s
I
and
uh
90s.
I still have a paper calendar that I carry.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like to write things down. Like my brain engages with that so differently than like a Google whatever, like an online calendar.
Mm.
My brain's like, that's not real,
Yes,
you know.
yes, and we sound like we're affiliated that way.
Like you
Yeah.
need to write that down with your hand. Sorry, the like in a writing utensil. And it feels like you had a very European upbringing. England, you have English, you have French, you have Italian. Um, were you moving for these
Yeah.
places, or are these your influences, or?
Well, not myself, not when I
Hmm.
was growing up,
Hmm.
apart from traveling summer holidays. So my nonna, my grandmother was Italian, and so my
Hmm.
mother half Italian, and we always traveled every summer. That was our thing that we would travel back to through France to Italy. So the cultural influences there are really strong,
Yeah.
and they've continued. But then actually, apart from that, I grew up in England,
Okay.
but my children and my husband grew up elsewhere in the Netherlands, and then have moved different places throughout their life.
Hmm.
So so that's the jumping that we're
Hmm.
experiencing now.
Hmm.
And when we go back to my parents in England, so the base is there, and things like the apple, the
Hmm.
stereotypical things as
A
well that
Bakewell tart,
come
which I
from.
did not know what that was till I started
Oh,
watching Great
oh my
British
gosh,
Bake Off, which is like my favorite show, and I don't bake. I
they are
find
the
it very
best.
soothing.
Yes, although I am diabetic, I am type 1
So
diabetic,
I
so
I wondered.
bakewell tarts, they
Yeah,
are a
yeah,
favorite, but I do have to kind of keep them a little bit at a distance.
yeah, for your own health and well-being.
Yeah.
And so what was it like writing this poem? Like, what was the experience? What did you feel?
Um, well, yes, trying to pick together different experiences, different levels. I
Mm,
did messaged my dad, and he gave me lots of little fun anecdotes that
mm,
I was trying to remember. And then I loved the links and the prompts to tie in with family members and
mm,
all the different brands that you recognize from your childhood. That I
yeah.
thought that was really helpful and really great to make sure that we realize that our life is heavily driven by
Mhm,
society, by family members, friendships, and
mhm,
as well as place. So
mhm.
yeah, I very much enjoyed the experience. Thank you,
Oh,
Alison.
good. I'm glad. And did it surprise you? Were you nervous about it? I mean, I know you were nervous just before now, but like, did you feel intimidated? Like, oh, I have to write a poem. This needs to be a certain way, or did you just like think, okay, the prompt is going to hold me. It's going to be okay.
Well, I think because I usually write longer prose or
Hmm.
shorter fiction, longer
Yeah.
prose, then I do feel that some of it probably could have been a bit more, a bit more figurative in its use of techniques, and it probably could have had been a little bit more poetic. But that was helpful for me because that felt like a way of yeah, kind of almost journalistically
Hmm.
documenting
Hmm.
different stages that I've experienced and that have made me. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
that
I
worked.
think it's a very fun prompt, and I'm grateful for Fred first for creating it because
Yeah,
it's made
yeah.
all of this possible. And for so many people, way before I ever did this, like I mean, this has been happening for a long time, and it just makes me like think about the small things, the things that we think are small that we're doing that may have ripples that we don't see or know. And um, I I I get hope from that. I need hope right now, and I try to think of like the way that that can ripple out. Us owning our stories. Um,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
You have a
Um,
great collection. You have a wonderful collection
that's
of
kind of
the
incredible.
people stories all the way back.
Yeah, it's it's a real testament to just doing something with regularity. like just
Yeah.
asking people to join me and then saying, oh, well, I'll just be here. Join me anytime. And we figure it out. And someone asked me, do I find this kind of overwhelming doing it week after week? Like, I don't, though. I find it
Mm.
comforting that it's there. And regardless of what's happening, it kind of continues. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Can well, you're making those connections, aren't you? This is the lovely chat with you. But I've watched your
no,
little videos, but now to actually be involved and to speak to you about it, you're kind of pulling all these stories together, which is great.
it's I love it. I'm very happy. I'm glad you're here. And is there anything else that you want to talk about or share about your experience or about your life or anything at all?
I don't think so. There's a lot going on in my life at the moment, but
Well, you have 4 children, so
yeah.
that alone
Oh,
is, I mean,
yeah.
personally,
They're the easy things. They're the easy. No,
they're
but
easy to
yeah,
love,
and yeah,
children.
a lot that we're all dealing with as well. But
Yeah,
the, this opportunity has been great to like a moment of calm amongst it all as
good.
well.
Yeah,
Thank
I think I give that to myself too when I do it. And I think it's an important remimer about that. Sometimes we need to just create the thing that we want.
you. Mhm.
Um, and then even though it might not make logical sense, it is important to create a space that we need. So, um, well, I
Mhm.
appreciate you taking the time, Christina, and writing your poem and reaching out. And if anybody is watching this and you want to join me, reach out. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Bye.
Bye.